Live.
We'll talk about that live. No, we don't need to be sharing certain pieces of information there.
That's right.
No.
That's
yeah. What goes on behind the scenes? Oh shit, we're live.
Yeah. See, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you're talking
Oh,
about.
please. Did you all think I didn't see that little red indicator in the top left corner there? Come on.
Going blinky, blinky, blinky.
Hell yeah, man. Good God, y'all. Welcome to your official Monday morning long weekend Zero Hour. It's great to all see you. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves.
Zero had one hell of a weekend. Unfortunately, I can't share the details of that this morning.
No. We can share some, like the trip back and forth, and then the other trip back and forth, and then yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah,
that's about it. Ow! All right. So
Scott Westbrook has gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships right off the bat. Thank you so very much,
job.
Scott Westbrook. Walter Tomosky was gifted a membership. Hephaestus was gifted a membership. Classic Comics was gifted a membership. Fenrir of Fire was gifted a membership. And Miss Martin Muses was gifted a membership. Thank you so very much, Scott Westbrook, for those 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. This one is just for all you members joining the Viking Horde. Skull! We're going to get to the shout outs this morning in just a second, but I just want to say what a crazy weekend. I was delirious for half the damn weekend. Didn't know where the hell I was. I apparently called a whole bunch of people, which I didn't mean to do.
Avon calling.
I kept getting calls back. Did you need something? I'm like, huh?
Maybe. I don't know. What do you got?
I've been trying to get a hold of you for 2 days. I've been asleep, but you called me like 10 times.
Oops. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
So everyone that
I just called to say I love you.
Everybody that called concerned or wanting to know what was going on, thank you guys so much. Sorry if I bugged the shit out of you over the weekend by calling.
I think they welcome it and they expect it sometimes.
But big shout out this morning before we hit the go button. Big shout out to Machiny, who just finished up season 3 of Machiny Live this Sunday. Absolutely wonderful guy. Guys, if you aren't subscribed to Machiny Draws, get your butts over there. I don't know what you're doing. Get your butts over to Channel 90 and subscribe to Machiny. Absolutely wonderful guys. He's the guy that proves thick thighs save lives. And oh my God, except them when they're that thick. Good morning, Wendy.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what the hell that thing is talking about. I don't know what that thing did.
Oh, wow. You did say there were scratches all over. So I mean,
thanks for that. Oh yeah, the good thing. Yeah, you don't want to hit the goal live, but yeah, thanks for throwing that out there. No, Wendy is not a thing. So whatever that thing got mixed up with, I was as far away from that as possible.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Do it live.
We'll do it live.
is the story of the super force of space explorers.
Good morning, welcome, greetings, one and all. It is time for a little Zero Hour on this wonderful Memorial Day. When I saw this, brother, I was like, oh, yeah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Together. Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do it, yeah.
The pleasure and the greed. Oh, baby, bring it on.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Hollywood Union, SAG-AFTRA, Voice Actors Association, yada, 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 will vote to go on strike against the AAA video game industry. We are talking about companies like Activision, Disney Character Voices Incorporated, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, Insomniac Games, Take-Two Productions, Voice Work Productions Incorporated, and Warner Brother Games. I cannot wait. Let's go to war.
Everybody grab your popcorn because it's going to be one hell of a ride.
And when I say that, I'm not with the writers. I'm not with the actors. I'm not with the companies. I'm with the indie devs that are making kick-ass games, that are bringing you hours and hours of entertainment that's not boring as shit and the same old thing. You know what? One of the craziest things I've seen all weekend is this giant fight over Starfield.
Oh,
do you want to know what Starfield is, ladies and gentlemen? Starfield is another Bethesda game. And it's not Skyrim. It's not Morrowind. It's just the latest in a line of boring Bethesda games. I don't care if you can pick your pronouns. I don't care about any of the other bullshit. It's boring. And I hate the fact. So for like the last 4 years, I buy games on a certain site. And after so many purchases, they're like, you can receive a free product. Well, I had enough to trade in to get Starfield, the deluxe super edition, for free.
Ooh.
And you know what? I regret that I did that.
So you got this thing legitimately for free, and
For free.
yet,
And I still regret it.
and yet
I'm like,
somehow you still feel like you got ripped off.
I
Isn't
still feel
that
like
ironic?
it's not finished. Okay. This is my biggest complaint, biggest gripe of the morning. Biggest gripe of the morning. Right here, right at the beginning. Let's go. You don't even have to get in your ship. You can just like you can go to your map and just fast travel to another planet.
Well,
You don't even have to get in your ship and fly away. You can just pull up your map, fast travel to your destination, even if that's an entirely other planet, and you never have to get in your ship.
well, that kind of sucks. I mean, I get that they did that in Oblivion. You know, you could fast travel everywhere, you know, right off the bat. Skyrim, you could do that so long as you unlock the place beforehand. Key phrase there. But man, I mean, I kind of understand if you don't want to take the time to do it, but it would at least be nice to have the option, because it's like, well, then what's the point? If yeah, so that's rather disappointing.
It's boring. It's just a boring Bethesda game.
Mm.
I'm as soon as I locked in and figured out what was going on, I was like, if the next Elder Scrolls is like this,
Oh God,
I can
that'll
see
be the end of it.
I can see people writing. It's
Yeah.
just it's okay. So it looks a little better than Fallout 4, but it's the exact same thing. It's like they haven't gone beyond being the exact same thing. So if you've played some of these games and you've gotten into them, anyone who's played Skyrim will start this game, be like, oh wow, look, they're moving exactly the same way. Oh look at the blank lifeless look human is giving me.
Oh, Bethesda rocking it again.
And nothing jumps out and grabs you at all. It's like paint by the numbers Bethesda. I cannot wait for the strike. I can't. They need a boat. They need a boat today. They need to get all the boats in, all the boats tallied, and go on strike today. Mahogany Draws with $5 super chat. What's funny is I discovered what happened between Hassan, that fake commie, and Az just after Mahogany Live was over. They're going at it, and they're going to keep going at it, and it's not going to end. It's not going to end, because you're going to have a group and a faction that are like, oh my God, let's suck at the teat of Bethesda.
Give us that lovely blue milk.
And you're going to have the others that just like, this is the same shit. It's the exact same shit.
Well, I have not dabbled into it myself at all. I haven't really played much of anything in the past few weeks. But yeah, I mean, I haven't even gone out of my way to check reviews, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just, I've been so out of the loop. But I mean, realistically speaking, I'm trying to keep an unbiased opinion here thus far, because I don't really have my own hands-on experience with it. But everything that Loki has said thus far would not and does not surprise me.
I was excited. I was, even when I was sick, I was like, I want to play this game. I was sick. People know I was sick at the end of last week. I felt like crap. I was like, man, I want to play this game. And it's just paint by numbers Bethesda. That's all it is. If you played one, you played them all. Oh, well, we use the Creative Engine 2 this time. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Thank you, Marketing, for your $5 super chat. This one's just for you, brother. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
I want indie games, man. You do not need. Does anybody remember when we got voice talent, how crazy it was? Because I mean, we'd gotten obviously speaking in games before, but then it would something would happen and it'd be crazy. Like getting Kevin Conroy to voice Batman in the Batman games. I was like, oh my God, that's Kevin Conroy.
It's like almost unheard of back in the day. Usually you just get your in-studio guys or, the generic voice talent people. No offense to any of them out there who just come in and audition for roles. But yeah, when they start making the bank and they start forking that over to put the production back into the production itself, thinking, you know what, let's get a big time star to do this. That would be great. Man, that was a game changer. No pun intended.
And Michael Gonzalez, who's been a member for 6 months, says, is that all, Loki? Got me enough games to last into the afterlife. Bury me with my PC if they're Wi-Fi access. I'm good. Exactly. I'm right there with you. You should see my GOG account. You know how many old games I have? You know how many old games I have that I'm like, I can just pop on my old games and play whenever I want to. I don't need any of this bullshit.
No, especially not the prices they're running these days.
No.
Totally. Yeah, like totally blown up, overblown, overproduced, oversaturated, and you just end up getting a lot of the same generic crap. I'm not saying they're all bad, but Jesus, man, like sometimes if you've played one, you've already played them all.
Yeah, and what's the point in that?
Yeah, really. I mean, I know it's difficult when you have a studio that has been dead set in their ways, whether intentional or not. And they've been manufacturing these cookie cutter things, going through the same processes for years and years. You kind of fall into that habit. I understand that. But if you get to a point after this many years where you start thinking, maybe we should shake things up a little bit. All right, well, let's try to create a brand new IP. We'll come out with something totally different. And then you end up falling back in that cookie cutter lineup going down the conveyor belt, and you don't see that for yourselves. You're thinking, what's the point? Like, I don't understand it. And yeah, Bethesda, I'm looking at you. Because if Starfield ends up sucking the big one, then oh, may God have mercy on your souls if you screw up Elder Scrolls 6, considering the fact that people have already been... Yeah, if they get there, considering Starfield and Fallout 76 is what kept pushing Elder Scrolls 6 further and further down the production line. If that's what holds it up and Elder Scrolls 6 ends up sucking the big one too, good God, people are just going to walk out in mass droves. There goes your fan base.
There goes your fan base. And look what happened with Volition. What happened with Volition? They screwed up something that was like an easy layup. That is why they are getting shuttered, because they screwed up something that should have been an easy layup. There's no excuse and no reason for that to happen.
Nope.
No reason whatsoever. They messed up, and they're gone. They're gone. They got shut down by a company that's buying up video game publishers, video game dev studios by the handfuls. They're just like, yeah, we don't have time for you. Sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, how crazy.
And right here, Saints Row.
Yeah. I mean,
There'll
come
be
on.
some Saints Row, some old school Saints Row. But this was the over-the-top Grand Theft Auto. You had Grand Theft Auto, which was Grand Theft Auto 3 and San Andreas and Miami were over-the-top masterpieces. What came after that was not. They wanted to make it more realistic. And as much as I like the story for 5, Rockstar just got really greedy. This was over-the-top madness, and I loved it.
Yeah.
They screwed it up.
Yeah, because I mean, Saints Row. I mean, even the first two, you kind of saw going down the timeline, things were getting a little more crazy. And they're all thinking, well, you know what? Let's just have some fun with this. We'll keep the same foundation, but let's just push it a little bit. Let's have some fun, and it's over the top. It's crazy over the top fun, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be. They're not trying to break any brand new boundaries and go above and beyond nothing that they were trying to do in the first place. They want to make simple things with a simple premise where you can run around, blow shit up, do whatever you want, and just have a kick-ass time doing it. Simple principle, simple execution. I don't know why it's so difficult these days.
Because they're up their own butt in crap. They're up their own ass in crap. So you know what? They want to eat cake. Let them eat cake. Let them go on strike. Put EA out of business. Put these companies out of business.
Well,
it is time.
Dangerously wishful thinking, but yeah.
It is time for indie devs to strike and strike now. I am in Martok mode from DS9. Strike while the iron is hot.
Oh, good God. Yeah.
I want kick-ass games again. And you know what? There's so much here. I don't have to buy shit. I don't have to buy shit. I go back. I can play Wing Commander 4 anytime. I love those games. Wing Commander 3 and Wing Commander 4, some of my favorite space games of all time. Absolutely wonderful. I want action adventure. I want FPS. I've got Doom. I've got Witcher. I've got games. I want space games. I got Star Trek. I want Star Wars, old school Star Wars.
Yeah, like look how much Star Wars shit is there. That's hours and hours. And a lot of these are old games. Like a lot of these are pushing over 20 years. And if you can keep going back to them because they still give you the same simple enjoyment, that's all you ever need out of things like that. You can immerse yourself in a world where, God, you just shut everything off and you don't give a fuck for a couple hours a day, man. It's as simple as that. Because, I mean, to go back to a collection like this, like what you're showcasing right now, and how old some of these are that are still standing the test of time because you still enjoy them, rather than fork over 80, 90, 100, and 120 bucks for some super ultra high definition deluxe edition piece of crap that's going to be outdated and broken on day one to begin with. That's the same generic crap that's been getting pumped out for the last 5 to 10 years. Man, there's no contest.
Metalorian says Starfield is a great game. I've been playing it the last 3 days. There's so many places to go. The ground combat is good. Space combat, pretty good too. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it and you're enjoying it. I wish I hadn't turned in my voucher that I got for it personally. I've got buyer's remorse and I didn't even pay money for it. So I'm glad you like it. If you like it, I'm happy you like it and I'm happy you're enjoying it. Yeah. I think it's just another Bethesda game in a long line of Bethesda games that play and look and act exactly like the last one did. And if you like that, that's great. I don't give a shit about the pronouns or none of that shit. I don't. Whatever. I just want good gameplay. That's what I want. I want good gameplay. I want to have fun. And if I'm just doing this the same shit I did in every other Bethesda game the exact same way, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Why did I buy this? Why did I pay for
it? Well, that is the $80 to $100 question every time something like this comes along. Yeah, so it's rough. It's a rough neighborhood to be walking through these days. It's dangerous territory because you never know what you're gonna get.
No, and you don't. You don't. How many demos do we have nowadays? How many demos have we gotten in the past 10 years? A handful.
Yeah.
A handful of demos. When a company is like, we know you're going to play the shit out of this, try this demo. And they release it on PS5 or Xbox or PC. You know you're in for something special.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad that you start to miss all that after it's been so long, but that's how it used to be. And again, not to be, tripping out and looking at things through nostalgia, rose tinted glasses or anything, but God, I mean, that's why so many people are saying, man, remember when times were simpler? Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but certain things worked. Certain things didn't work. Certain things knew what was productive. People knew how to operate. People knew how to manufacture things. They knew how to pump this stuff out for the general public, your mass consumers, your target audience, everything like that. And now everything has just been, flash fried, baked, boiled, and thrown out there to pasture, and everybody just kind of hopes for the best. I mean, Exhibit A right here. Oh, let's release this big budget game. Oh, it's broken. All right, download the day one patch. Man, get your shit fixed up and get it ready to go on day one. Because you guys take years to make anything now. Why don't you put a little effort in and make sure everything's fucking broken? Don't tell me you don't have the technology to play test all this shit and hammer out all the fine print before people start paying money for it. Oh, well, that was a glitch we didn't see happening. Bullshit. Don't give us that crap. Fix your broken ass crap and get it right the first time.
No, I absolutely agree. And Sort of Poop Skeever says, don't bang the bears. We bang back, but not the way you think. Psychodorp 9 with $2 super chat. Outer Worlds did fall out in space much better.
That it did.
So you don't ever have to get in space. You don't ever have to travel through space.
The kids, yeah.
That's the one thing that I'm like, you don't have to do any of that. You can just teleport from planet to planet to planet. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to, I don't know, man. I want to take off in my spaceship, in my Millennium Falcon, fly up out of orbit, leave orbit. I want to do all that. I don't want to hit a button and it just show me a cutscene. I want to do all that. And I guess I've got to go back to playing other games that came out years ago that I gave up on years ago to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So
I mean, and again, my opinion is totally unbiased because I don't have hands-on experience with it yet, But again, nothing that Loki is saying is surprising me all that much. So that's, I mean, like prime example right there. That's why I always got to keep an open mind about this oversaturated market these days, because I don't know what I'm getting unless it's from an absolute 100% tried and tested source.
And Forbidden Ruin with one hell of a scowl on his face. Oh my God. Says the Mandalorian, to the Mandalorian, the pronouns crap is the inch. Full-blown Mile will be turning Elder Scrolls 6 into a woke nightmare with voice acting and complete dialogue from modern sensibilities. I won't do it. I won't do it.
No way.
I won't buy it. I won't support it. I won't touch it. I don't know. I just find this boring. It's not that Starfield is like some giant slap in the face. To me, it's just like, okay, I'm playing a Bethesda game. And the problem is with me, Mandalorian, is I know I'm playing a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a good thing to me. Is I know because there's these parts of it that are screaming at me that, hey, look at me, I'm a Bethesda game. And I'm like, and if you like that, that's great. If you like that, that's great. I'm just, I don't know. I keep going back. I played Elder Scrolls 4 a couple of months back. Of course, I go back and play Skyrim every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, there's no, as far as like the character skeletons, the structure of the people, the way they operate, they're exactly the same. All they've done is put a new coat of paint on it and put us in a space setting.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe that's my problem.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, like I couldn't put it any better myself. Same kind of thing that you just kind of do, like duct tape and a new coat of paint. Hope for the best.
And what Stig says right here, modern identity politics takes the fantasy out of fantasy games and turns them into California 2023. The uniqueness and immersion is wiped away.
And that's key too, because I mean, if you lose immersion, then what's the point?
Now with this, I hadn't run into any of that. I think I've got like 15 hours so far. It's just boring. The combat's boring. The dialogue is boring. There are some like questions I want answered. There's some like, I wonder what's going to happen here. But besides that, I don't know why I was still doing missions, because nothing reached out at me and screamed at me to keep playing. The necromorph, and they straight up grabbed that from Dead Space, the necromorph thing. Just is like, I'm not scared of them. I'm not worried about them. I'm not like, ooh, they're gonna come out and get me. I took care of the ones that have shown up, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah.
The level up system, I'm not the skill system. It's exactly what's in the other games. It's exactly the same skill system. Oh, do this enough times, and you'll level it up. Level it up. Kill 20 creatures with a handgun, and you're gonna level it up. Kill 20 creatures with a ballistic weapon, and you're gonna level it up. Oh, it's the exact same thing. Use this, sneak around this. There's nothing revolutionary about it. It's like, why do we have to work on anything new and groundbreaking when we could just do the same shit we've always done?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a grind fest, some games you play are grind fest. Well, it appears sometimes that the production and the whole everything that goes into sequential order and releasing something these days is just another grind fest, just going through the motions and just pumping it out there, hoping to collect a paycheck. I'm not saying they're all like that, but if history is any indication, over the last 10 to 20 years, we're getting a hell of a lot more of that these days, and for a lot bigger budgets and price tags.
200, 300 million. It's just like like a Hollywood blockbuster that doesn't blockbust.
Yeah. Oh, it busts all right.
when you spend 6 years in production, and you've spent 200 to 300 million dollars, and then you've got marketing, and you've got commercials, and this is insanity. This is absolute insanity. I don't want the gaming industry to be the Hollywood entertainment industry, but it seems like that's what they want. And every once in a while, you get something different. Every once in a while, you get something special. Every once in a while, they pull a rabbit out of their hat, and it's like, boom, here you go. But you know what? We're going to have FIFA 99. That's right. It's not the year 99. It's the 99th game. And you know what? It looks exactly the same as it has for the last 50 years, because we haven't done anything different.
No. And you know what? And not to defend them, but they don't have to, because no matter what they do, they'll still get the whales that go in there and buy the card packs and pump millions and millions of dollars back into the company just so they can get away with doing the same shit over and over again. Because you know what? A lot of times, and I don't know if I've said this before, but a lot of times the fans are just as guilty as they are, the ones that keep opening the wallets, because I just don't get it, because they enjoy blowing their wads of cash on the same mundane shit that doesn't matter 12 months later anyway.
And Stig, it's exactly right here. If you made a mistake when you were creating your character, leveling up your character, whatever, you had to live with that. Or you had to start over from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, like, geez. I just spent 25 minutes in my character creator filling out my class sheet. Oh, I made a wrong decision. Edit, fuck, rewind. Got to do it over again. Because you got out of it what you put into it.
That's right.
Nowadays,
this right here.
Yeah.
Be dangerous.
Oh God, Loki and I know about that. Oh, I just got my Python. Shut up, you dirty, immature people.
And I went out. He went out. So get this. He gets a python and he takes it out like almost bare bones, thinking,
It was a
I'll
test
be
drive.
fine.
Oh yeah, well, because I had you and Shug backing me up. I'm thinking, no, we'll be fine.
No
worry about it.
insurance, ladies and gentlemen. No insurance. You're probably talking about like for him,
Well,
what, a
actu-
year of work?
Actually, that was okay. That because I got this backwards too. So I bought the Python. I had enough in my I had enough space bucks, whatever it was, to afford that, to get a bare bones kind of thing, maybe put a few upgrades on there and then just take it out and do whatever. So by the time I bought this thing and got all the bells and whistles on it that I could afford at the time, I was looking at probably 2,000 or 3,000, whatever space credits they used at the time. Yeah. And they're thinking, all right, boys, let's saddle up and go ride out and see what we can blow up in this fucking thing, right? And then, of course, what happens? Zero gets his brand new ship blown up. And
With no insurance.
Well, here's the thing, because I will never forget what happened. I was like, oh shit, oh my god. And I just hear Loki go, oh shit. And then Shug pipes up, oh no, what the fuck happened, man? Zero just lost his python. What the fuck? So here's the part that I mixed up. I did have the space insurance. That is the only thing that allowed me to get that python back, because I had the insurance. If I didn't have the insurance, I would have lost everything that I had just worked for, and I would have had to start from scratch. That is when mistakes and your decision and the effort that you put into it was vital to your own success and responsible for your failures.
Sting brings up a very good point here. If games handhold you all the way through, young gamers will never get any sense of achievement for having outsmarted a game, figured out tactics, etc. The need for any of it isn't there to begin with. We played games without direction. We played games where we were in a village and talked to someone and they were like, maybe you should go over here to this place and check this out. You had to figure out where that was. You had to find it. There was no waypoints. There was no warps. There was no any of that. You had to walk there.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to figure out where that was. Oh my God, you don't have like an arrow pointing you in the right direction? No, we didn't have any of that. We didn't have any of that because that's not the way things worked. I had something that blew people's minds. I had a flight stick that had vibration kickback, so that when you fired something, and this worked with Klingon Academy, and there was another plane game it worked on. When you fired the machine gun, your stick would sit there and shake. Mm-hmm. But this was before you had rumble packs and controllers.
Yeah.
Before you had rumble packs and controllers, before you had anything like that, this was a rumble and kickback effect. The stick would actually kick back. Like when you were in the biggest Klingon ship in Klingon Academy, when you fired the phase lance or the disruptor lance, your stick, that some bitch would kick back.
Yeah.
Sidewinder. Yes, it was with force feedback. Yes, DJ Ronnie G. That is what it was.
Oh
it was the
God.
MS Sidewinder with force feedback.
Holy shit. That's
holy shit. I
wow.
cannot believe that. Yes.
I can't believe you remembered that. I was totally blanking on that one.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
God. Crazy.
And I wish my HOTAS, the HOTAS I have, has that. It doesn't. I wish they did. I wish they still did shit like that, but they don't. I've got a really fancy HOTAS for Elite Dangerous and flight games and all of that. And it's just
oh God, it was good stuff.
It just doesn't have it.
Yeah, not anymore.
We've gone backwards. The games may look better, but we really have kind of gone backwards.
Well, I think yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The innovation's gone. Go ahead. I was just going to say the innovations. It's not
Yeah.
there anymore.
Well, that's the thing too, because I think, you know, when you look at how long stuff like this has progressed over time, eventually you're probably going to hit a plateau at some point, and it might take several years for you to get that next, you know, revolutionary thing to come on, not necessarily just a graphical upgrade, because it'll get to a point where our eyes won't be able to see, you know, 14,000K or whatever anyway. But you know, when you hit that plateau, you kind of lose your, like you said, you lose your innovation, you lose the desire to create innovation. And at this point, and I know we're beating a dead horse with this at this point, but man, when you realize you can get away with just making bank on the same cookie cutter crap, the same whales paying for the same shit, I mean, really, how it's easy to fall into a habit of mundane, you know, this mundane fixation on just going through the motions and doing whatever. And I'm not saying every company out there is guilty of that. And also, like I said, the fans are guilty too, the ones that are pumping those millions of dollars back into the company for the same crap that's just going to get recycled and rehashed and re-released the next year so the cycle can start all over again. And goddamn, I pray, I hope and pray for the day when competition comes back and starts kicking the asses out of this mundane bullshit. And we can get back to paying for stuff that is worth the price tag. And we can start to enjoy ourselves and immerse ourselves in the worlds that we used to have that are not so much fun and immersive anymore.
Why is a list of games from forever ago? I mean, look at some of the stuff that's on here. Art of Fighting, Blade Runner. Okay, let's go over some of the top stuff here. Blade Runner, point and click adventure, Westwood Studios, absolutely wonderful game. Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain, it's absolute killer game. Killer game. A Day of the Tentacle. I loved the point and click Lucasfilm adventures. I've got Day of the Tentacle. We've got the Indiana Jones games that are they're the exact same way, made by LucasArts. I love the old LucasArts games.
Yeah.
So many. Dragon's Lair, the Don Bluth Dragon's Lair trilogy.
God, there were so many. So many.
Doom. I'm not
Yeah.
talking 80s Doom, 90s Doom,
God.
not the
Yeah.
shit today.
No, Doom, like classic Doom 2, holy crap, man. You talk about a community that banded together to start doing that. Dude, I tell you, when I was in high school, not to date myself, but when I was in high school and we were doing like computer lab stuff or whatever, this is in the early stages of internet back when it was maybe only a couple years old. We would run landlines and connection machines, and we would actually hook up all this kind of stuff secretly so we could sit there in class. And if my teachers are listening, I apologize, but we would hook all this stuff up and run it through the network just so we could play, you know, stuff like Doom and Quake and oh god, what was the other one? But we would sit there and we would play the shit out of this, and it was so much fun because it was so simple. But man, what a good time it was.
And I'll go an even further step on that. When I played Doom, we had a compact Presario.
Oh God, remember those?
Computer, ladies and gentlemen. We had a compact that loaded up. It loaded up into DOS and into Windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was, I believe it was Windows 95. But when I launched Doom, it was slow. It ran really slow. Well, I had what you would call, I guess, a video card at the time. I upgraded that because I had a friend of the family was working with me to get this running. And it's still, I went from a Trident to a Voodoo. From a Trident video card to a Voodoo video card. A Voodoo 3D FX, and it still ran slow. And he said, it's not the video card. It's your RAM. And he said, for whatever reason, when we bought this thing, they soldered the sticks So there was no way to yank the RAM and replace it. It was the craziest thing he'd ever seen. So over the phone, he taught me how to change the loading configuration command line so it loaded into DOS and didn't load up Windows, because you had to go to DOS to play Doom. So literally it loaded up the computer and then loaded Windows, and you had to dump back into DOS. Well, if you never loaded Windows, that RAM wasn't used.
Mm-hmm.
So it was saved. It was saved, and there was enough there to play Doom. So he literally taught me how to write a command line to change the load order of the computer for everything but Windows.
Yeah. I had the opposite.
Just
problem.
so I could play Doom.
Yeah. I mean, I remember my very first computer, good God, with the big red switch on the side, Kong, turn that sucker on, and the monitors that weighed 40 pounds. Holy shit. That thing ran on DOS, and everything I learned back then, I learned on DOS. Windows 3.1, ladies and gentlemen, was my first upgrade. God damn. Imagine that. But I will never forget, like, trying to learn everything on DOS, doing your Lotus 123, doing all that kind of shit. And then when when we finally upgraded to Windows 3.1 and got this futuristic thing called a mouse, Jesus, and thinking, oh, well, why isn't Windows loading up? What's wrong? Because everything's still booting off DOS. And then, come later to find out, I have to go in, open up a little thing called the autoexec.bat file, and go in, scroll all the way down, and type WIN, click save down on the bottom, just so Windows 3.1 would load up when the computer fires up. Holy shit, what a world that was opening.
Yep.
Trying to play games on 3.4 floppy disks and shit like that too. And then to find out, back before I had Windows, when you pop those floppy disks in and, oh, something's not working. Why aren't these firing up? Oh, I need a color graphics card. I need a color card in my computer. Pop that fucker in there. Oh, good. All the games are working now. That's great. But man, you talk about primitive. But
when I got that Voodoo FX card, that was a huge deal. And I remember my dad arguing with me about it before I bought it, because I had the money, and he was like, do you really want to spend this much money on this? And are you going to break it? And I was like, look, all I have to do is pull this part out and put this part in, and it'll work. I'm telling you, it'll work. I've got to install the software to run it before we put it in. But once it's in and it's running, it'll be fine. And I loved it so much, I went back and got another one, and I ran them in tandem. This was before you had the stuff you have today to run 2 video cards in a computer. This was the only video card that could do that at the time. And what it did was, one card handled all the vertical lines in the game, and the other card handled all the horizontal lines. So it split the difference.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts that you could do that. And he thought that was the craziest thing. Yeah, it's sly, but it's not modern SLI. That's right. DJ Ronnie G's got it. It's called that, but it's not like the modern day that. Yeah. It just handled the vertical line. One card handled vertical, the other card handled the horizontal. It was a different thing back then. Old school SLI, yeah. NVIDIA owns that because they bought out Voodoo FX. Yeah. NVIDIA bought Voodoo FX. So I loved my Voodoo cards. I loved them. And yes, I did play. I played Quake. I played all of that. One of the best computers from anybody I knew that could play all kinds of stuff on the PC that nobody else could figure out how to work.
God, that still makes me snicker sometimes. Like just when like firing up Quake or whatever on the LAN party in school, and we're all sitting here and you hear click, 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 people typing away, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then me, 3 or 4 other dudes are sitting there kind of scattered all over the room, click, click, click. And then you just hear tee hee hee hee, because we're running around with frag grenades and gravity cheats and shit like that. Click, 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 click. Hey, what's going on back there? Oh, nothing. It's fine. It's all right. Click, 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 click.
Oh God,
man.
Shum, the cow boxes. God, what was that?
Oh geez, who knows?
Gateways.
Oh,
You remember Gateway? Holy shit. Yes.
Good God, y'all. Wow.
Dude,
Oh.
Gateway. Holy shit, Shum, that's crazy. Yeah, the moo boxes. Yeah, the moo boxes. The
Wow.
Gateway.
God, blast from the past today. Holy. My goodness. What a trip down memory lane it's been.
Holy shit.
So
There's
yeah.
there's so much out there though. There's so much out there to play. You can go back and you can play, they do not want you. They don't want you playing a lot of the old school stuff. Once a generation is over now, they just want you to get rid of it and forget it. PlayStation does not care about the PS3. They don't give a shit about the PS3. They don't want you to give a shit about the PS3. They don't want you to keep your stuff for the PS3 because they want you to buy all new stuff for the new things that are coming out now.
Yep. Money, money.
For whatever reason, Microsoft has been like, no, look at our back catalog. And there's not a ton of stuff, but at least there's a pile of stuff. They're like, no, we're keeping this available for you. We're keeping these Xbox games available. We're keeping these 360 games available. We're going to keep as much of this stuff available as we can so that you can still play it.
Yeah.
Because we know you love it.
Yeah. And they almost made that mistake several years ago. Say, oh, no, sorry. Nothing we make is going to be backwards compatible. You'll have to keep your old stuff. But man, when the blowback from that started to hit the fan, they changed their minds and turned that around real quick.
I don't have this. Give me just a second. I don't have any of this. I'm going to blow myself up real quick. Zero's still there. He's just off to the side. I want to show you guys something. Obviously this is not organized.
Nope.
I have not finished.
If it makes you feel any better, mine pretty much looks the same, except they're all standing up. So I mean, a mess is a mess, but it's organized chaos is what it is.
I'm working on my PlayStation stuff at the moment.
Yeah, that's a shitload. Holy crap. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Some of these, like this Metal Gear, that's in plastic.
Well, it's got to stay collectible.
These have never been opened. So some of this stuff is, when I've got consoles. I love my old stuff. I do.
Well, you're supposed to.
I mean, shit, I wouldn't dress it all up like that if it wasn't. Oh, look, there's everybody. Hello, everybody.
Say hello, chat. See yourselves.
Hello, chat. Say hello, chat. We're going to turn this damn thing off and we're going to go back to, there we go.
Back to being in secret.
I have no problem collecting. And that's not even like, that's like just the PlayStation shit and the Xbox stuff that's out here. I've got a whole closet full of shit that I still haven't gotten to unbox yet.
God, I can't imagine what the aftermath of that would look like.
So, thank you, Machini. It's just, I love my old stuff. Don't get rid of your old stuff. Don't get rid of your own stuff. Don't get rid of your physical media. We talk about that all the time. I don't get rid of my stuff. I do not sell my stuff. I've got an Xbox, or an OG Xbox in the box that is sitting in a closet, has never been opened, and it's just sitting there increasing in value.
So long as the transistors haven't blown by now,
I
I'm
bought
sure
it.
it's fine.
It's never been hooked up. It's never been opened. The sticker's
it'll be
never
all
been
right.
taken off. So even if I sold it, which I plan on doing, that was okay. I got a really good deal on this. It's never been opened. It's never out of the box. The box is in pristine shape. I'm going to dump it at some point. I've got another one that's a Halo exclusive. It's the green see-through plastic one. That's in the box as well. That's in a really nice box. Why do you buy this old stuff? Well, there's one of those I'm going to sell. But pretty much I buy the old stuff because I'm never getting rid of my physical media, and I'm just getting more of the stuff that I'm missing still. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I don't have to buy the newest game. I don't have to go to Bethesda and be like, please make a good game so I can play his games. I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to kiss anybody's ass. I can play whatever I want to, whenever I want to. If I want to go back and play an old Transformers game, I can do that. Spider-Man game, I can do that. If I don't like what Insomniacs doing, I got a dozen Spider-Man games I can play. But it's not the newest new one. Don't have to have the newest new one. Go ahead.
No, that's just what I was going to say. It doesn't have to be the newest flash in the pan, because there's a reason why things that are timeless continue to remain timeless, and you can keep going back to them anytime, because they got it right. They got it right the first time. They knew exactly what they were doing, and the fans embraced it. The fans loved it. The fans cared about it, because throughout production, the product was cared about by the people that made it. And don't get us wrong, guys. There's a lot of shit that came out back then too. Don't get me wrong. But classics are classics for a reason.
Some people ask, Loki, why don't you have, if you've got all this Xbox stuff, what about your PlayStation stuff? I do have a PS3. But let me tell you what's going to happen to the PS3s. Inside of each PS3, there's a battery. And that battery is directly connected to a memory module that has a code in it that's matched to a code on the hard drive of your PlayStation 3. If either one of those is missing, your PS3 will not function. If the little battery that has a limited lifespan, it's like a watch battery, thank you. If that little battery goes, that code in your PS3 is wiped out. It will never work again. Yeah, there is no way around it.
Yeah, they're going to brick. Exactly.
It will brick and it will never work again. There is no way to undo it. It's not just a lock code. It's a pairing of what is in that save file connected to that battery and what your PlayStation is. Each one has a specific code. It's not like every single one of them are the same. No, every single one of them is different. It was Sony's way to prevent tampering. So if that little battery is removed, that PlayStation is ruined. They have yet to crack this. Maybe one day they will. But Capcom did the same crazy shit on their Street Fighter cabinets once they found out people were modding them. So when you got later versions of Street Fighter, there was a code on the MOBA of the Street Fighter games that was connected to a battery. If that battery was removed, that code was wiped out, and you literally had to send it back to Capcom, and they had to replace it with a new one. There was no, we'll fix it, because it was unfixable, because they didn't think about that. They didn't figure they didn't figure that part out. They just did it.
Yeah, lost too much along the way. Lost sight of the bigger picture, or they were
And
too
that-
focused on the bigger picture when they forgot the principles.
Eventually that was cracked and that was broken for emulation. But there's a code that battery pack talks to the board. They go back and forth, and when you start up the game, it needs that access code, and every board is different and has a different access code. So you had to figure out what that was. Eventually they removed that and made a workaround. Whether that'll happen with the PS3 or not, I don't know.
Who knows?
But once that battery goes, that's it. Your PlayStation 3 is a brick and is worthless because they can't fix it.
Yeah. It'll be a sad day, but man, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Is there something at an emulator site to pretend to be a PS3? They do have PS3 emulators, but they don't function like the console itself. It's more of a workaround through emulation.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of workarounds for that stuff now.
But you got to understand, the PS3 is one of the hardest systems to emulate. Even now, it's very difficult. You have to have a really powerful computer to do it because the architecture of what the PS3 was. It's insane. And the games are very hard to emulate because of that architecture of the way their system was.
Yeah.
Their system was all brute force. It was all brute force and forcing the game to do what you wanted it to do. There was no finesse with the PS3. It was all muscle and no brains.
Yeah.
And we're getting out of here, guys.
God, we went over again. Holy
We
crap.
went over by just like 2 minutes, but we're going to get out of here.
Oh, well.
Machini has a morning show coming up, guys, in just a minute. Make sure you go over there. If I could get, what is a Chronos? If I could get a moderator to throw a link in the chat, that would be absolutely wonderful for Machini's morning stream. You guys have been absolutely excellent. I know we've been talking about video games all morning.
Yes.
But
So
I
how
hope
about
they go
that
on strike. I
Yeah.
hope they go on strike. I really do, because it could lead to a lot of innovation. Get Hollywood out of there. Get these actors out of there. Get these people that are ruining this wonderful form of entertainment. Get them out of there. I lost my five, Coleman. I have no five, no rhythm. I have no nothing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Loki just sat on a squirrel.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Have a great one, Arwen. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend enter. We'll see you guys in the next 0 hour. Have a great one, everybody.
Enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your Memorial Day.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.